Mate, I just saw this guy fly off into the gutter. We were climbing up this hill, so we helped him out and hopefully he's okay. Oh! Tomato's fast.
Go.
Hanoi was probably less crazy than I anticipated because I'd been to Saigon before. The weather was the main issue for me. I get really affected when it gets heavy rain or adverse conditions. I'm very emotional when it comes to bad weather.
You don't know whether to stop and wait a little bit so that you can sort of focus on the road, or whether you just keep going and battling it out because you never know when the rain's going to finish. Run with us! Come on, little minions! Yeah! The aim of bikepacking Vietnam was to explore the northern region and essentially find the biggest mountains and the best roads. We had the intention to explore some of the really small roads of the Ha Giang Province, which I'd kind of found on a map, but I had no idea what the conditions would be like or whether they'd even be rideable on a road bike. Paul is a really fun-going guy. He's basically always on the search for the next laugh. Paul's also a professional athlete, so you can kind of do harder, more technical riding than you normally could with somebody who isn't as experienced.
Ali is one of my best mates who also has a vast experience in bicycle touring. When I said 3 weeks ago that we were going to do a trip to Vietnam, he just jumped on board, we booked flights, and then he pretty much planned everything.
Bikepacking is a genius thing because you've got no barriers between you and the environment around you.
You're not flying past at 3 times the speed in a tour bus. You're going at the same pace as most people travel around the villages.
As you're climbing up these giant mountains, you get to really feel the mountains.
I think I probably have about 5 kilograms of total gear inside the bikepacking bags, so it's very lightweight. One of our first big days to climb up to Barbare was pretty aggressive for me. I was struggling on the bike. I wasn't really that comfortable. The body was rejecting the big day, and when we arrived at night and woke up to this beautiful landscape, I was very happy when Ali suggested we should stay for a day and check out the caves and check out the national park there. I mean, we are on a bike tour and we do have a planned route, but there's always an opportunity to change that. When you're an athlete, every day you look at the bike and it sort of turns into a bit of a job, and you're trying to get gains out of your training rides and things like that. So when you're on a bike tour, you're just using the bike as transport to explore and unlock this new experience. For the last few months before I did this bike trip, I was trying to race internationally on the road bikes, and I just wasn't having much fun, and I'd essentially lost the love for riding. We took a shortcut which was not on the planned route. It was 20 k's shorter, but the road quality was terrible. I like to call it the honey pot because we dipped down over this crest of this huge mountain pass, and we just soaked up all this beautiful landscape. And I mean, that sort of riding is so unique to this part of the world. Just tropical forests and luscious green landscape that we don't have in Australia, and I think it's very rare throughout the world, so we're super lucky to be part of that. As soon as it goes dark, I have this sort of switch that flicks, and it's a completely different vibe where you're no longer rushing to get to somewhere. You sort of chill out, and it's a different vibe completely. I really enjoy riding in the night.
Hello, xin chào.
The local Vietnamese people are unbelievably friendly, and they're willing to do almost anything for you to help you out. I was trying to eat as close to vegan as possible, and there wasn't a single time where the proprietor of a restaurant didn't help us out and make sure we got what we needed.
Kids absolutely love seeing Western bike tourers. There's obviously a huge language barrier, but every time we say hello, there's a massive hello back, and the reactions are so quick and so positive. Everyone's super friendly, and you're just riding, and it's just really good vibes.
One of the things we didn't plan on doing at all was staying in a traditional homestay. They give you the experience of what it's like to be Vietnamese in a rural area. So you're staying in a traditional house, it's a single room, everyone has a small space to sleep, you're eating food on the floor, and they're sharing the traditional recipes that they've been using for thousands of years. The Ha Giang Province is just mountains upon mountains upon mountains. It's a geo-historical area, so it has an international significance, and there's limestone pinnacles everywhere. You're riding along these crazy cliff faces with the road cut directly into the side of the mountain. You've got amazing valley views. From the road level down to the bottom of the valley can be 1,000 meters at times. When you're going up a hill and you crest it, you know that as you're going down the other side, you're probably going to have an amazing view to experience, as well as the adrenaline-fueled descent. One of the most stunning sections of road, probably in the world, is from Dong Van to Mea Vac. And you basically ride this road that's kind of undulating, but its significance is that it's cut into the side of the mountain, and you can see about 1,000 meters down to the river. One of the delights of this journey is discovering roads that you haven't done any research on. So one particular road comes to mind. It's Mea Vac back to Ha Giang, and essentially I had no idea what the gradients of the road were going to be, or the profile, or what anything looked like. It was just pure discovery, and it turned out to be one of the hardest roads on the whole trip, just because the amount of climbing was unbelievable.
I grew up in the mountains, and I have a strong association with the mountainous terrain, and when I go into the huge giant hills that they have up in the north, it feels like I'm at a second home. I like to say that I'm a mountain climber trapped in a sprinter's body.
We were having a look at our maps as we were getting really close to China, and we actually found a section where the road was only a few hundred meters away from China itself. So we decided to do a bit of exploring, and we found the Chinese border and sneakily went across it. There was a real sense of achievement making it all the way to the top of Vietnam. We'd conquered so many mountain passes by the time we got there, and to be able to look out over a viewing platform and see all of the mountains of another country was just phenomenal.
It's quite large.
The last 2 weeks in Vietnam have been amazing. I came in completely fried, and now after 2 weeks of bike touring I feel revitalised and ready to take on the new challenges ahead. As in the mountains change you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're pretty special.